This is Alex Walter, Chief Innovation Officer with A3J Group, and I'm joined today by Robert Clarkson, Maximo Administrator with International Support Group, and Jose Restrepo, Director of IT from International Support Group. We're going to talk you through a little bit about ISG's selection and implementation of MxMobile to provide mobile support for their technicians doing work management processes in their organization. So I'm going to turn it over real quick to the folks here, Rob and Jose, talk a little bit about ISG.
Thanks, Alex. We're headquartered in Pembroke Pines, Florida. ISG was founded in 2009 by Bobby Bennett and Tim Merchant, who have been in the industry for over 45 years. I have been in Maximo for about 13 years myself. We focus on high-quality supervised projects in facility maintenance, construction, and information technology. We have a highly trained staff, including engineers, heavy equipment operators, electricians, quality control inspectors, and more. Our roles are to perform IBM Maximo support, safety and quality control analysis, and a whole lot more. We do maintenance on site for a lot of companies. We support and use Maximo to execute those tasks. Services we provide are HVAC, electrical, preventive maintenance, repairs, among a whole bunch of other things. We work closely with our customers, providing system integration, networking, programming, database management, and support. Maximo plays a huge role in that.
Cool, thanks, Rob. As far as A3J Group goes, obviously we are the company that produces the MxMobile Suite that works with Maximo for mobility solutions. Founded in 2016, based out of Tampa, Florida. Highly certified Maximo folks that really have a passion for pushing technology in this space. So wanted to move on and just talk a little bit about some of the challenges and some of what brought the mobile use case to the forefront at ISG. So, guys, you want to talk a little bit about what brought you to needing a mobile solution?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. We were trying to find a solution that's going to be quick to implement. At the same time, something for our technicians that's going to be very simple and intuitive. We didn't, being out in the field, our impression was, they have enough to deal with, trying to get the work done. The last thing they need is a complicated interface where they're so busy working with that they can't get what they need to get done accomplished. And this looked like a good, choice.
Hey,
Excellent.
Rob.
Yeah.
Jose Restrepo here. Just want to add up also we really like this application because it also meets with all the security that the government required us. Since we do a lot of contracts with the government, MX Work has all the capabilities and it meets all the requirements that we were needed. So that's why it's also a great implementation for our company.
Cool. Thanks, Jose. So when we looked at the solution here, as these guys talked about, I think some of the bigger benefits there were being able to get something going quickly. There wasn't any sort of server-side installation. They could download the apps, log in, and try to complete work, to add labor time, do all the things that the technicians needed to do in the field using their data, their Maximo instance right from day one. So that was something that made it easy to relate to, easy to see the benefits of right away. So we'll get to some of the specific configurations and benefits here, but I think that was a big boost as well. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, definitely, especially all the updates that we needed were done on a fastly matter. I mean, fairly quick, just to say it that way. And the app was pretty modified to what we needed right away. So it is a great, great, great application for us.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of those things. Out of the box, obviously there's a set of fields available, set of statuses available, etc., set of actions available. But some of the things that ISG needed were, to have some of their custom statuses available in the app, to have a specific workflow from status to status, some screen changes, and then just general sort search, those types of modifications, which were all done fairly quickly. We were able to get them up and running in a short amount of time. So
Yeah, I agree. The turnaround was great. From when it was requested to getting it implemented.
And also how easy it was to implement it on our phones. I mean, we literally just had to update the app and everything was already there.
gotcha. Okay, so some of the actions that the folks are taking advantage of. So the guys mentioned as a sort of third-party maintenance organization for facilities, as a construction company, the types of work that they do are your standard PMs. So they're able to do things like download work that's assigned to them, edit the work, complete work orders. They're able to upload labor time and material usage, um, attach photos of take pictures of job site and work being completed, upload them to the work order. And one of the biggest things that they do is to mark off each task on the work order. And that really gives them the accountability that they were looking for. Rob mentioned Tim as one of the founders of ISG, was really looking for that accountability factor. And implementing mobile, number one, gives them that ability to respond directly to the work while they're on the job, but also ticking off all the tasks that are on the work order, shows that they went and actually interacted with it in that fashion. So it gives them that accountability factor. Anything else you guys want to add there?
No. Like I said, it was a pretty good experience. Anything that needed to be changed got turned around quickly. I mean, the customer service part of the um, uh, installation and everything, that was great. Um, uh, and especially nowadays, like I said, not a lot of companies focus on customer support, and it's well appreciated.
Alex, also, let's not forget about the offline mode. I mean, it might not seem like a big deal, but we use it every day and it just works. You go offline, you do your work, then you connect back again and everything gets uploaded without missing any steps. So that is a great feature that works, that actually works, gets the
Oh
job
yeah,
done.
I
Yeah.
agree. We got one guy, he's in an area that it's hit or miss constantly throughout the day, his connectivity. So, yeah, uh, this is going to be a great tool for him.
Well, that's good to hear, especially as a third-party maintenance organization. You never know what type of connectivity you're going to find as you're sent out to different jobs, different sites. So good to hear that's all in good shape for you. Moving on to the next one, just a little bit of usage here. Some of the stats since the start of 2022. Really, I think you're looking at data from about February to the end of June here. And some of the different types of transactions that have happened within the app. One of them is interesting, that sign work order one. The app has the ability to capture like a fingertip signature, and as a third-party maintenance organization, these guys are able to go out, do the work, and then capture a signature from their customer to indicate, satisfactory completion of the work. That signature gets uploaded to the work order, so they have a picture of that signature attached to their work order in Maximo permanently.
Well, in addition, they're also taking pictures out there in the field.
Yeah, the attachment photos for sure.
So that's good.
And those tasks that we talked about obviously are the big ones. They're going in and that's their accountability method, not just the completion of the work, but the ticking off of each of the steps on that work to indicate that they've done the steps that were assigned to them. Excellent. All right. Just a little bit more from the suite. ISG is taking advantage of that work order tracking MX Work app. But the suite of MxMobile apps encapsulates quite a bit of other functionality, including inventory and some other asset management operational type apps as well. All of these apps are now included in that MxMobile app, so they're available as separate apps if you want to keep it simple and have just a simple role-based app, or a more comprehensive suite of functionality inside of a single app. So that's all we've got today. You guys got anything else to add, Rob or Jose?
No. Like I said, this was a pleasure doing business with A3J, and I would strongly recommend you.
Well, appreciate that. Thanks again, guys, and I hope this was beneficial for everyone.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
So can open it up for some questions here. I see some coming in. I was trying to answer them in the Q&A section there as we were going, but there was a question on follow-up work. So there is a follow-up work order that can be generated from a work order. There's an action similar to the ones that you saw in the screenshots there. It should be noted that all the actions can be hidden or shown, but there is an available follow-up work order action, so a technician could click on the follow-up work order, get prompted to supply a description and or some additional information about the follow-up work order, and then submit that to be created in Maximo. Other questions, looks like, how do you handle security with disconnected mode? I'm assuming if you mean like Maximo security, the transactions are queued on the device and then go back to Maximo once the user regains it. So if there may be additional things that you're referring to when you're talking about security. So hopefully that answers it. Can you look up spare parts for an asset? Yes, has that capability. Perform inspections, yes, we have that capability as well. You can attach an inspection form to a work order, and those work orders that have inspections, you can launch the inspection and complete the inspection form right from the work order. There's a question here about application performance related statistics. Example, number of users, assets managed. Yeah, so there's quite a wide variety of customers using the MxMobile product now, various industries, and various use cases. Steve was mentioning the number of use cases, but we have apps that handle everything from obviously work orders to you're looking at inventory transactions, asset specific transactions like meter readings, etc., counting inventory. We also have apps for just having like workflow assignments come to your phone where you can accept or reject those. So I would say we have a number of different installations and could get you some statistics on how much they're being used, but it's quite a variety of transactions, and we're really excited about that. For the signature, the date and timestamp is returned to Maximo, so we actually create the signature as a photo, as an attachment to Maximo, and date and timestamp the attachment there in Maximo. How do you collate the work orders created via the MxMobile app? There's really not a good way to know that a work order was created via the mobile app versus created in the desktop. It's meant to look the same. We could probably create work orders in different statuses though, or create work orders with some field flag ticked if that was a requirement. And I'm sorry, Rob and Jose, I'm like dominating. I'm just reading off the questions. If there's anything specific to ISG, I'll pass it over to you guys. So how the app handles workflow with pop-ups for users. Yeah, so we have the ability to not only drive work off of statuses, but also utilize electronic workflow in Maximo. So let's say you have a task assignment to do something on a work order, you could then route the work order right from the mobile app and have it respond with manual input nodes or interaction nodes, etc. How do we define who can do what in the mobile tool? It's a great question. We actually utilize the security groups and native features inside of Maximo. So the app comes with the app utilizes basically the Maximo API to do all the back and forth transactions. So you can use the security features native to Maximo and object structures to get to indicate who can do what through the mobile tool. But we also have some configuration that we can toggle on and off at the customer level. Push notifications, yes. Does it work with workflow? Yes. We can get into more specifics later. Not sure how much time we have left here. Does a platform perform on Android versus iOS? The answer is yes. We have apps deployed on both Android and iOS, available for download on both platforms, and no preference really when it comes to one or the other. I would say we have about half of our customer base on each, right? So batch actions with inspections, that's a good question. I'll have to take a look at that. I haven't really tried doing many of the batch actions yet with inspections, but you can definitely go ahead and complete the inspection form right from the mobile tool. User data restrictions, yeah, so absolutely. There's a ability through the object structure to relate data restriction conditions to it. So again, we support all the available data restrictions that are out of the box with object structures in Maximo. Maximo rules inherent. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's obviously different types of rules that you can create in Maximo. So If they're like business object layer rules, those will be enforced through API calls. If they're presentation level rules, they wouldn't be enforced through API calls. So the answer is yes, we can support general business rules so long as they're configured at the business object level through like automation scripts or those types of things, versus presentation or screen level configurations. Would maintainers be able to access drawings and attachments? Yes, you can access attachments through the mobile device. Does it require a separate server? No, and I think this is something that's really important to understand about our solution is there is no middleware. The device uses the Maximo APIs to communicate directly to Maximo with no separate procurement of a server. And I think, going back to what Steve was talking about earlier in his keynote, as far as time to value, that's a really big thing that that our solution is able to achieve from a time to value perspective. We don't have to do any sort of middleware server procurement or installation onto middleware or even installation onto the Maximo application server. You simply download the app from the store, punch in your URL, username, and password, and go. And various configurations can happen from there, but you can be up and running in minutes. Can you route workflow actions from the mobile device in offline mode? And you can queue route workflow transactions in offline mode, and then when the app processes those, can actually prompt the user if necessary to answer any subsequent like manual input or interaction type questions. Can a tech create a work order from the app and assign it to another tech? Yes, the answer is you can create a work order and either just have that go back to Maximo for approval. You can create and start one, or obviously create, start, and then reassign to another tech. Does the app support linear assets and map functionalities? We have limited map capabilities and linear assets as well. So depending on what the exact requirements are, I would say it's not a full-fledged GIS integration that you may see in some of the others, but we have mapping capabilities, and that's something that's on our roadmap to address. Biometrics, we don't have the ability to use biometrics for sign-in at this point. Can we use App Connect or Health and Predict? So some of the other apps in the suite we don't have use cases for yet in MxMobile, but we are Maximo Application Suite compliant. All of our apps, like I said, use the APIs to communicate back and forth with Maximo. So the APIs really haven't changed between Maximo 7.6 and Maximo 8. Can you receive rotating assets in the stock replenishment app? We do have the ability to receive those rotating assets, but not yet assign asset numbers to them. So half of that use case, yes, the other half will be coming in a later release. How do you handle synchronization when offline, changes in desktop, and then conflicting changes in offline mode? So for example, let's say there was a work order that was completed in the desktop, and we had previously queued the completion of that work order in offline mode. When the device comes back online and attempts to complete that work order, once it's already completed in the desktop, Maximo will throw an exception saying that, sorry, that work order is already completed. Then you can choose to delete that transaction off of your device, and the device will continue to sync that way. So if there's a conflict, the user will be notified, and they can handle that situation based on the error that comes back. Yeah, so the next question, if your IT department restricts Google Play download, can you send the client the file via zip file? Yeah, you can. We have the APK files or app bundles that you can side load onto your device there. So if that's a necessity to go outside the marketplace for loading up the devices, we can absolutely do that. Can it handle routes? So the answer is yes, or especially a lot of our customers utilize routes when capturing meter readings. So we have an MX meter app, MX asset app. Those you can actually pull up a route, show all the assets that are on that route, and then take meter readings at assets along stops on that route throughout. So that was a mouthful. I think I got to the end of the list of questions there. Sorry for the long-winded, but I was trying to go fast through that. Rob and Jose, do you guys have anything that you want to add to any of those?
Oh, no. I think everyone in the audience is primarily looking for a solution, and that's fine.
Well, you got it. Appreciate it, Rob. Are we going to be providing the recordings? That I'll leave up to the folks with the more Maximo community project tech who is running that, but I assume that the recordings would be available. But I'll let them answer that question. And then Chris asked the question, what do you plan to cover in the demo tomorrow? We'll go through as much of the suite as we can and cover really as much as we have time for. We've got, like I said, work management, inventory management, asset management, and ancillary use cases to cover. And we'll try and get through as much of that as we can in the time we have allotted. Okay, well, I really appreciate all the questions. And if there's anything else that you need, you can find us at a3jgroup.com or reach out, and we're happy to answer whatever questions we have. And Rob and Jose, sorry I went quickly through a lot of those questions, but you guys feel free to reach out to those two with ISG. They've got a lot of good experience that they've gone through over the last several months in deploying the solution out to technicians, and I feel like they'd be a valuable resource for anybody that has questions there.
No, it's been a pleasure to be here, and thank you.
Hey Rob, there was a question that just came in. What's the most common feedback from the ISG techs about the mobile apps?
Let's see here. What have we had? Trying to think with the guys out in the field, what they've been trying to do. Well, I think they just needed to get, it's more of just training, when there's updates, sometimes people don't read the messages. So when they try to log in and it doesn't let them, they don't read that it says that it's out of, that there's a newer version, and they don't see that they have to, go and get an update. But other than that, I mean, I've been getting great feedback from the techs. Other than that, like I said, they wanted something simple, and this seems to be pretty, easy to follow. Did you want to add anything, Jose?
No, you cover all, Alex also. So yeah, I mean everything's pretty clear there. I mean definitely an application to look into it if you want to go mobile.
There was a question about licensing scheme. The apps are available on a named user or concurrent user basis on an annual subscription. And then last question there is, if there's a new version of Maximo APK rollout, will it automatically update the backend or need to sideload? So that is a question that depends on your organization and how you want to manage this. You can either download the apps from the marketplace like the Google Play Store, or like there was a previous question about could the apps be sideloaded, and they can. So it's really, the sideloading would take maybe a little bit more coordinated effort, but generally speaking, can do either or. All right, I think we're at 12:15 at the end of our session here. So thank you all again for the great questions. Appreciate it. And I'll turn it back over to the folks at Project Tech.
Yep, appreciate everybody attending. We'll hop into the next session. Thanks, everybody.